Hello, hello, everyone. We missed you guys last week. It is our weekly live. Ben was not feeling super great last week, so let me invite him and get him on here. And then moving forward, we got to bring our special guests back on. So let me know if there's anyone you guys want to hear from, whether that's home inspectors or appraisers or anyone else. So, and then we'll bring the team back on too. My office is so warm. I need like AC in here. So exciting, exciting. Well, we have about 15 minutes, so we're going to bust through our topics and hope to get to all of them. But thank you guys for tuning in to our weekly market live. I wanted to share some exciting news today. I have been working on some things behind the scenes. So I, at the Keller Williams Puget Sound office, have taken on a leadership role in addition to running my team. So I am the Director of Business Development for our Keller Williams Puget Sound, which was really fun. I started today. What I am really excited about, because people are like, why now? I am looking to grow my lid and continue to build generational wealth and help others build generational wealth. And my real estate team and I only can get so far. And I keep hitting the ceiling of achievement over and over and over again. And over the last 5 years, I feel like through the traumatic things that have happened in my life, I've also grown as a person and really excited to take those things to the next level. So if you guys are in real estate or want to get into real estate and want to just talk about what business looks like, let me know. So, okay, getting into this government shutdown, Benjamin, tell me what is going on and how does this affect things?
So how does it affect us, which is the most important thing? As far as consumers in general, you know, if you work for the government right now, you're technically not getting a paycheck. And they're still going to work. I talked to one of my clients today. She called and said, I'm really nervous. This thing's going to last longer than 30 days, which there's so much speculations. No one has a crystal ball. But how does it affect us in the real estate market? Let's say you're doing a VA loan or an FHA loan or a government loan. We'll start with Freddie and Fannie. So Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. It shouldn't really affect because they're privately held companies. So there are some things like verifications and other type of things that they do kind of commingle with the government. So, yes, there may be some delays. But I wouldn't expect a complete halt in that. So business as usual, just
what is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac? Like what kind of loans are those?
Those are conventional loans. Those are standard conventional loans. FHA is a government-backed loan. VA is a government-backed loan. USDA is a government-backed loan. Freddie and Fannie handle the conventional conforming loans that are out there, you know, the standard 5, 10, 20% down. Most people do the conventional loans when you're refinancing or you're buying or you're buying a different home. You're buying a bigger home. But for government loans, that's where it gets a little, we've been here before. It didn't last as long as what we thought. But, you know, with government loans, it's really just going to slow all activities. Right now, there's a shell. If they had 50 people working in one department, they really only have 5, right? So you got to expect longer delays. And the longer this goes on, you're going to expect even longer delays. You could have delays in Social Security validations, IRS transcript validations, just in any government entity at all, right? You just have to expect longer turn time. So if the business was 3 days, this may now be 5, 7, 10, 12 or longer, depending on how long this thing and the shutdown really lasts. Now, I think the pressure is going to be on if they do go over 30 days, because not all of us have reserves. to be able to pay bills and groceries and gas when they're not getting a paycheck. So we'll see what really happens here if this continues into longer than 30 days.
Yeah, and well, and I think being patient is really important, but also knowing, even if you are getting paid, but then you're not, like some are getting paid up front, right? Which then
Yep.
affects qualifications. But as that continues to go, if you got paid up front for a month and we're 45 days into this, they're not paying you anymore, that can play a huge part as well. So as a real estate agent, what I would suggest to other real estate agents is please ask the questions to the lender, verify and qualify that pre-approval. Has their job been affected by this government shutdown? What does that look like? Really making sure that you're just not looking at the offer for your seller and, just being like, oh, looks good, call the lender, qualify, go through those questions. If you need a list of questions, reach out to me. I will totally help you guys with that. And then on the buyer side, ask your lender as well. What's going on with those things is going to be a huge part in making sure that we're not wasting anyone's time later on. What was next on your list?
I just wanted to kind of talk about what's driving rates. Today we saw a little bit of a decrease. It went up a lot in the last couple days. I've had people call me to do their mortgage review, and they're like, oh, the Fed's lowered the rates 25 basis points. So I should be getting rates in the fives, right? Or I should be getting rates in the fours, or, and I really wanted to talk, just give a few, not go super depth. If you want to go more in depth, please reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you about it. But just go over a few of the driving factors that kind of control rates.
Okay.
And it's a lot of, the biggest one, in my opinion, is economic growth. What's going on in our economy? The PCE reports, all the reports of how we're spending our funds, what are we getting imports and goods, how is the economy truly doing? Is it growing? Is it going backwards? What is going on? Those numbers, and I've heard rumors that they're sometimes, I don't want to say falsified, but they're manipulated per se. But may that be, I can't make the judgment there. Those numbers come out weekly, every other week. You go track this stuff and watch it, and you can kind of see what's going to happen. So some of the things as the drivers as follows are bond yields, because mortgage-backed securities follow a lot of bonds. So it's a huge driver in, if the yields rise, what do you think mortgage rates will tend to do? They will follow suit. Inflation is huge. And then the expectation of inflation. So, them thinking we're going into this, or them thinking or saying, or the way the market's going, that expectation can truly drive rates one way or another just by how the market's going. Obviously, the Federal Reserve, which is exactly why people are calling saying, hey, the Feds did this and their policy did this and they expect to lower it again tomorrow. And, what's this? So that doesn't directly affect rates, but it can, over the long term, kind of, the Fed cuts can really influence them to come down long term because it helps other factors. And then also we talked about economic growth. I think that's a huge one I've seen over the years. How is our economy really doing? What's going on? How is our dollar working? Are we spending money on goods and this, and what's going on in households right now? And, all of that is a huge factor in it. So.
Absolutely. Okay. Yep, that plays a part. So always good. I mean, at the end of the day, the real estate market is still doing really well. People are buying and selling, and that with rates being where they're at. And so that's that plays a part into it. So, unfortunately, home prices have gone down in a lot of our areas, especially Puyallup. You were fighting new construction and what that looks like. So, there's been an adjustment, but we're going to get through it, and I see it turning around very soon. So.
And this is what I mentioned to a few of those clients who, are like, oh, the rates are too high, or, the Feds didn't really lower the rates, so I'm going to wait. Or, I would say this: every individual has a unique plan for their home ownership wealth, their wealth building plan. So turn the light on for yourself, no matter if it's 6 months down the road. If you don't have a plan in place, create one. No matter if you own a home or don't, because we all may want to upgrade, downsize, maybe having kids, life changes along the way. Just make sure that you're reviewing your current mortgage situation and you have a plan. Turn the light on so you can create that roadmap to maybe it is purchasing next year. If that is what it is, maybe, there may be a better plan of credit, income, or assets that we can help with to get you where you need to be. Or maybe you need to pay off some of that debt, save some money, get some relief, get a month or two off your mortgage, and put yourself in a position where when these rates do come down in the future, you can take advantage of that too.
Absolutely. I just wanted to reiterate too what we talked about, the economy and government jobs and all of that. Ben and I have been in this business a long time, and I started when short sales and foreclosures were there. We're helping a client right now with a short sale. If you're having trouble paying your mortgage, what that looks like, don't walk away from your equity. Let's take a look at it and build a plan. If you're afraid to open your mail, don't know if you have a foreclosure date, all of that, there's things that my team and I can step in and help and facilitate some of that and see if it's a good option for you to sell, not sell, loan modifications. There's all of those options, and it can feel really overwhelming when you're in survival mode. So please, please, please reach out. If you know a friend or a family member, it's all confidential. We're there to help you. If you have an estate sale or probate, or you just inherited some of your family's stuff, we have attorneys that are involved in that as well. So just, you don't have to do this alone, and it's okay just to call and say, I don't know what the hell I'm doing and I need some help, or could you set a time to talk about it? So that's what we're here. We are the professionals to be able to assist with any real estate thing you may have in your pipeline.
100%. We're here to help.
Whether that's credit, whether that's income, debt to income ratios, whether, like I said, there's so much that's involved in real estate. So let's take it piece by piece and see what we can do to assist you.
Agreed.
Awesome. Do you have any motivational tips or anything for today?
I have one more major thing that I over that is probably, I feel this is huge right now. We are all, every one of us, if you own a home, you are getting mailers, you are getting text messages, and you are getting emails, including voicemails started. I've gotten 3. Here is what we're seeing, and don't be fooled. Okay, I want to share this to everybody you possibly can. Call friends and family, let them know. Your mortgage company, your lender, your person, if you feel that somebody's reaching out to you from that company, call them today. Call them first and confirm. Because I've had probably 15 plus people reach out to me and say that things like this are going on. Dear sir, your appointment was missed today on September 22nd. If there's any reason to reschedule right away, we're working with your current mortgage company to get you a refinance. They said you missed your appointment. Basically, I don't want to say they're bait and switching or falsifying information, because what they said is legal. They can say that, but it's misleading. You didn't have an appointment, but they said you did. There was a message saying RE regarding Cornerstone or Future First. So here's a real good one that's happening a lot, is these insurance places are reaching out and saying, important notice, please complete and return from your mortgage company. It says right here, lender, Cornerstone First. Here's your loan amount, your record date, everything. We need to do a physical exam. Here's your death benefits. Fill this information out. This is your last chance. We've tried to reach out to you. Really crazy is what I'll say. It's unfortunate that when you do something like building wealth in real estate, people want to try to capitalize on that and make money off of, something that you just did. So The number one thing is if you are uncomfortable, if you do not know who this is from, do not call them and give them information. It could be a scam. Do not fill out something and mail it to them. Do not hop on a phone call and give them your passwords. Do not give them anything. This is where a lot of scams can happen. And I've seen people start refinances and pay for insurance they really didn't need. So if you have any questions, I have no problem reviewing it. The number one thing to look at before we go here, and I know we don't have a ton of time, please call me if you're experiencing this, is on the top right or the bottom. It says RE and your company. And then it says not affiliated with or sponsored by your mortgage company, which in our case would be Cornerstone Financial or Cornerstone First Mortgage, not authorized by the loan information, but provided by Cornerstone. So when we record it, it's public information and anyone can go grab that and say, you did a loan through them on this date. I can put something together and just mail you, email you, send you a message. So just make sure that you're looking for that on the mailers that come out and the messages you're getting so that we can make sure to stop this. Because once they aren't making money anymore, this costs a lot of money to market to you guys. And I want to make sure you're taken care of and not getting taken advantage of.
Yeah, so all else fails, call your lender that did
Yep.
your loan, the personal lender, your real estate agent, take a picture of it, send it over to Ben or myself, even if you didn't have a great experience with them. And we are here to assist and help. So
Yep.
we got to go, but I hope you guys have a great Tuesday and we will talk to you next week.
Take care. See ya.
Bye.